because I want to put this on screen, not just Kurt Nemo's article. The whole article is hyperlinks to the Department of Homeland Security and to a FEMA press release. See right here? Zoom in. See, people say, oh, that's just InfoWars or Prison Planet. We are 100 times better than the mainstream media. We link to everything we show. People ask, well, where do you get your info? FEMA.gov, Homeland Security. I mean, look, right there. Israeli troops. That's the press release link. In fact, go ahead and put the actual website up on screen, and on video for everybody watching and listening, click on press release. See the first link? And there is the press release. FEMA Administrator Fugate meets top Israeli officials to discuss emergency management issues. Then you read the article, it says they're involved in these drills. Then we Googled that and found it was in Arizona. I go on air, read mainstream articles, but Arizona's saying how great it is to have foreign troops there and how great it is to have them trained to take on terrorists. And then, look, I got hundreds of these. I can't keep track of it. Here's News Tribune, guard units trained for attacks, Camp Crowder, Missouri. And it says they practice repulsing an attack on the base by militias and on Army checkpoints searching citizens. And they had Army out on highways at mock checkpoints, which always go live. I've videotaped this. I've been there before. And others have sent us the video. And it's got the militias practicing attacking the troops. It says militias. I mean, you can go read this for yourself. They are practicing. I mean, Google Pentagon prepares to deploy in the U.S. or Brigade Homeland Tour. Google that, and you'll be on Army Times saying they're preparing to put regular Army. 2 months ago, Tennessee, I had the state rep on. The Army was out randomly running checkpoints in a 4-state area. Tennessee was the only state to say no, and they told the governor, we're going to do it anyways. This was in the news. This is happening. And they just acclimate and acclimate and acclimate and acclimate and acclimate, and then we say something and they make fun of us. You know, I watched Real Time with Bill Maher this weekend. I haven't watched it in months, and it was all lies. And making fun of anybody that talks about this. And if you don't like Obama, you're a racist. I get these hundreds of emails a week saying, you're a racist, you're a racist. Folks, I'm not the one setting up abortuaries in black neighborhoods. I'm not the one grabbing black foster kids to test chemical and biologicals on them and radiologicals. And if your black leaders weren't paid off, they'd be fighting it. But it's not blacks telling me I'm racist. It's stupid yuppies. It's white people. It's a religion. You know, by saying you're a racist if you fight Obama, they can then push his whole agenda through. You don't want a carbon tax? You're racist. You don't want open borders? You're racist. You don't want to lose your job? You're racist. You don't want the government control and fining you thousands of dollars a year if you don't have government health care? I mean, you're a racist. No. This is tribalism. They are playing us all off against each other. You know, tomorrow I'll get more into the whole flu thing. I prepared a huge folder on all this. You know, here is Public Safety Canada Media Relations with the phone number with Canada saying they're taking part in the drill. And I've got news articles from 2002 where they signed deals with Canadian and Mexican military to, quote, use Mexican and Canadian troops in the U.S. for martial law to, quote, take on American terrorists and for insurrection. This is a fact. So, see, they deny it. But if you go to the training and you go read the FEMA press releases that I just put on screen, they say it's to take on American terrorists. Foreign troops. I've had Colonel Craig Roberts on, whose nephew went through West Point, and they had Wesley Clark and people in there giving them speeches saying, get ready to work with foreign troops to suppress American insurrection. They are going to use foreign troops. As crazy as that is, it's real, folks. This is really going on. I could show you the video out of the different television stations in Florida when they landed troops from more than 12 nations from Latin America to, quote, take on American terrorists. In fact, Google Latin American troops land in Florida. We can show them the video right now during the break for people watching on prisonplanet.tv. I mean, it's just everywhere. It's wallowing in evidence. I have the Army following and watching me. It's in mainstream news they're doing it. Months after I tell you, because the Army leaks me a secret document because they don't like it. Folks, we're far down the rat hole when the Army is following me around. They might be following me home today. I'll be like, oh, there they are behind me, and I can take 10 turns, and they're following me, and they'll smile at me and laugh at me. It's all real funny. It's not funny. You guys are traitors. This is, they've been over in Baghdad shooting people and torturing people and doing their crap, and now they're here. And in fact, Hooge gave me an article earlier that we're going to have some guests on. Lethal warriors bring combat hostility home. One unit where 10 of them committed murders. Units where 3 or 4 separately go out and rob banks. They're just going crazy. But see, most of them aren't going to have to rob banks because they're used to killing and stealing and breaking down doors. And this screws people up, folks, especially when you do 2 or 3 tours. It screws up about half the people that do one tour. Now they're all warped. They're all going to be cops. They got these kind of guys following me around, following Ron Paul around. Baltimore Sun reported on that. I mean, this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a lot of the troops are good, patriotic people, and they know what's going on. But, I mean, it is a total martial law grid, and it is expanding its net right now, and the enemy's building up, it looks like, to move against us. So just get ready. Hold on.
I focus on the
we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I want to jam in a few final calls here. Who's up next? Here, John. I get my call list mixed up. Mike, Virginia. We'll probably get to Mike in Virginia and Mike in California. Dwayne and Jim and others we may not get to, but we'll see. I did want to just, in closing, thank this hour's sponsors. One of them is MySolarBackup.com. A lot of things can happen during these troubled times. Hurricanes, snow, ice storms, the control freak, globalist, coming in with their carbon taxes. It's just good to start getting off the grid. And a great little unit that'll power quite a bit in your house. You can get a bunch of the units and run your whole house. MySolarBackup.com. It consists of the power source 1,800-watt generator and high-efficiency solar panel designed to provide endless electricity. It's MySolarBackup.com. It's MySolarBackup.com or 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. And in closing, a Cola Blue, the atmospheric water generator, what I use in my home, what we use in the office. They've got a new unit out. They're special, 20% off, ends today. So I'd call today, 800-691-6043, 800-691-6043. It grabs the water out of the air and then sends it through 7 different filters, including reverse osmosis and a carbon filter. AColaBlue.com, 800-691-6043. And one plug of the day, all my books and videos and materials at Infowars.com and the online video bookstore. That funds our operation, but that's secondary. Number one, these are great tools to wake people up. And folks are ready to be woken up now. Let's take 2 final calls. Mike in Virginia, you're on the air.
Hello, Alex.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling because I found some images on the dollar bill that Jordan Maxwell or anybody hasn't found today that I know of. I'll try to make this quick because I know you're trying to take other calls. All right, what you need to do is get about $5 to $10 $1 bills. The area you're looking for is the white and black dots behind George Washington's head. You usually turn the dollar bill on its side or upside down, still looking at the front, of course. I found skulls, occult images, just all kinds of stuff. No, I don't think anybody's seen that.
Well, there's all sorts of secret stuff on the dollar bill. I don't have a dollar bill. All I have is a 20 and a 10 and a 5. But it's just filled with occultic stuff. And they admit it is. So why don't you scan in that little image and just that little part of it and then point it out, write a blurb, and send it to writers@Infowars.com. We're getting a lot of listener-submitted ideas and stuff, and a lot of it's great. We're posting most of it. If not, post anything you want in the Prison Planet forum, unless it's calling for violence. Let's go ahead and talk to Mike in California. Mike, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Good.
First, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. You actually made me feel sane again, because for a long time, I had a lot of people saying, "Hey, you're crazy for all these things you're thinking." I'm 31 years old. I started doing this when I was 18 years old, and I got into studying Babylon, and unlocking Babylon. It got me into the whole monarchy, and I started seeing what the system was really about. And I actually read a book by Alexander Hislop called The True Babylon, and it woke me up to the whole thing, and actually seeing the whole system that our government is. It's almost a mirror image of it. Hello?
Well, these are Babylonian mystery school systems of psychology and government and controlling populations. And if you know that science, then you have a monopoly over everything else and rule. But somehow they convince the population not to even look into the sciences of control. It's our job to just get people to wake up and look around them. Thank you. Big show today. Retransmission starts now. Infowars.com. Great job, crew.